Hey guys, welcome to the Elimination Chamber prediction show of the Wrestling Corner podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kozakowski. Alongside me is the homie squad again. We got Jimmy in the corner down here. What's up, Jimmy? How we doing, bro?
What is up? I'm feeling a little bit down since last time. Last time I came in as a winner. This time I'm coming in as a loser. So I'm here to redeem myself. And yeah, I'm ready to kick this shindig off. All
Speaking of
business.
down, we got down since day one-ish over here wearing the Yeet shirt. Our reigning champion of predictions, Money Mike Gamble. What's up, Mike? How you doing?
All I can say at this point is, yeet. So what up, man? I'm good,
Should
man.
we
I'm
should
good.
we Austin Theory it from last night?
I saw you kind of doing it in the background anyway. You can't even lie. We all saw you.
My
But
bad.
yeah,
And
no.
last but not least, we got my main man, Kyle. Kyle, how you doing, brother?
Doing swimmingly, my man. Always a good time being here. I'm looking to get my first win. I feel like I'm stuck in a chamber. I'm trying to get out of it or something. You know what I'm saying? Elimination Chamber. It's the show we're talking about.
Got a few people in a chamber here. We got about 12 different folks in a chamber. So this is going to be a fun one. I'm very excited about this because there's so many ways this can go. It's the road to WrestleMania, continuing from the Rumble. We got the second chance to the championship gold for WrestleMania. But we're going to start off with a special one. I know this one's eating at Jimmy. This is tugging at his heartstrings.
Oh,
We got the
what?
match that you wanted to see at Mania. We
Okay,
got the
something.
match that should be at Mania, and it might still happen. We got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Jimmy, what are your thoughts here, brother?
I don't want to talk about
All right, next we got
it. Man, part of me is like, okay, it's cool. It's happening in Toronto in front of the can. Like, that's cool. The crowd's going to be eat it up. Like, I get why they're doing it there, but it is a Mania match. So it's like, what are we doing here? I like the story they're telling. They're taking it very seriously. Like the promos have been great. Sammy's on Raw this past week, like beautiful. It's why I love Sammy. The way he's able to just like tell his stories and make you just believe and forget all the nonsense. Like, yeah, they face a lot of times, but this is important because of this reason. Like he's really good at selling that. And Kevin Owens is just I think he's doing the best character work in all of wrestling right now. He's just on another level. So I'm looking forward to the match, but I'm not looking forward to the match. They're gonna hurt each other. This is gonna be way more brutal than the Kevin Owens Cody match was, without a shadow of a
that was pretty
doubt.
brutal too.
Oh, 100%.
Um, yeah. So I'm torn. If I have to pick a winner, do I have to do that right now?
Yeah, that's a part of the show, Jimmy. I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm gonna take Kevin Owens because I think he needs it more. Yeah,
Good call, good call,
I'm
good
gonna leave it
call.
at that because it breaks my heart.
I mean, technically, there's there really a winner? It's an unsanctioned match. They're just going to beat the shit out of him until one can't
Damn.
move anymore. So
Well,
Loophole.
that's worse. That's worse.
So we got KO from Jimmy over here, but I wouldn't have guessed anything other than KO. I mean, you're wearing the KO shirt. You got to go KO on this one.
KO.
We're gonna
Oh,
see
get
if
up on that now.
Gio. We're gonna see if G over here has the same opinion. G, are we thinking KO? Are we gonna go Sammy on this one? How we feeling?
So this is my big problem with the match in general is going back. Correct. I think this should be a Mania match. And the thing that bothers me even more about the fact that it's not a Mania match is I think that this is really just a stepping stone for us to get Randy Orton to come back. So it sounds like we're getting pretty near to a Randy Orton return. And what I don't like is as awesome as this match is going to be, I think how this is going to end is Kevin Owens gets his hand raised in whatever fashion that looks like in an unsanctioned match. It's been a while. And when that happens, his little move that he's been bringing back and paralyzing people with is this package pile driver. I think he's going to go to hit one on Sammy, and then Voices is going to hit, and then Randy's going to hit the ring, and that's going to start our little feud to them two at WrestleMania this year. So I'm going to go KO. I think number one, like Jimmy said, I think he needs it first and foremost. Second off, I think that plays into better reasoning to get us to Randy versus Kevin at WrestleMania.
No, I definitely see where you're going with that one. I'll definitely give my opinion in a moment here, but we're gonna see if Kyle has the same KO opinion or if he's gonna be the outcast here and do something a little different.
Well, I think so a little bit. So the Randy coming in and costing KO the match is a thought that entered my head. But if that were to happen, I feel like that'd be a very unsatisfying ending to this KO and Sami story, even though this version of the story has been pretty short. And like Mike said, like it going from this to KO and Randy, it feels like I don't know, it feels kind of lukewarm to me. So I hope that doesn't happen. And what I think will happen here, I think we get a little no contest action. I think we get some tomfoolery. Maybe they go flying off the stage. Maybe they rip down the chamber and it crushes them. Something along those lines. And there's no definitive winner. And then perhaps a rematch at WrestleMania.
Hell in a Cell.
See, I
If the
think
stage falls on top of them, we're going to be investigating a double homicide, though. See, that's the thing.
which, you know what? That's just a part of the story, I guess. But I don't know, man. If they're gonna face each other at WrestleMania, because they've already done it, right? They've already had a singles match at WrestleMania. They've main evented together. In my opinion, if they are together at WrestleMania again, it needs to be in the main event for a world title, and it doesn't seem like we're getting there this year. So I think hopefully main eventing a Canada PLE, I think is a good second option. I don't know if this will main event, but it'll definitely be a marquee match of some sort.
No, 100%. But you did talk about a double homicide. We didn't
Yes.
get a clear decision of who's winning this.
No contest.
Yeah, he said no
No
contest.
There is no winner.
contest. Okay. So we got no contest from Kyle,
Yeah.
which is a very interesting one, 100%. But
Going with the
unsanctioned
push.
match, we're gonna see what happens. Kyle's always the one that always has to be different. So,
I also always
but
lose these, so yeah, take that for what it's worth.
Kyle really doesn't want that ECW shirt,
My dresser's
Definitely.
full.
My dresser's full. I can't do another one. I'm gonna go KO as well, though. I definitely think KO needs this, especially after back-to-back losses against Cody. We can't see another big loss for KO. But I do think it becomes something that it's possible where Kyle is right on this, where it is a no contest that leads to a match at WrestleMania. But I think with any outcome that we get here, as long as Sammy's still moving after this, um, I do see we still somehow get a rematch at WrestleMania where then we see Orton come back at the Raw after Mania or SmackDown after Mania, just to start a new feud going into the next season of WWE to next year's WrestleMania, whatever. But I do see KO and Sammy going again at Mania. But at this one, I do see KO taking it. I think the history is there, and seeing this new streak that KO has brought since how long's it been since he's been this violent? We haven't seen it since back in NXT, really. I mean, under McMahon's era, we really haven't seen a brutal KO. So I think him just beating the living crap out of Sammy. Sorry, Jimmy. I think him destroying Sammy at Chamber needs to happen. Give him a package pile driver or two, knock him senseless, have Sammy come out on Raw, say I'm still standing, move the feud on for another 6-7 weeks until Mania. But I do see Kevin winning this one. And it's going to be an epic match one way or another. But yeah, KO for sure. But we have a dream team match coming next between two wonderful, talented ladies. We have Tiffany Stratton, Trish Stratus versus Nia Jackson, Candice LaRae. This is going to be a fun one. I'm really excited to see how Stratton and Stratus, that does not
It's
go off the
tough.
tongue well. Um, but I think that's going to be an awesome one. But we're going to start here with Kyle.
Whew.
Kyle, who we got in this match? Tell us what we're feeling.
So I'm gonna go safe here, safer than the no contest. I think this is just gonna be a good old fashioned hometown feel good moment type of deal. I don't think there's gonna be any too many ramifications. Maybe Charlotte comes out afterwards or something, but I think Tiff and Trish have this one. Nia, I mean, I guess it's possible Nia could win and maybe like insert herself into the title picture, but I'm gonna go with the hometown gal here, Trish Stratus.
Gotcha. No, 100%. Nobody's going to boo the hometown girl either, so it's going to be fantastic. Jimmy, who we got in this match?
Yeah, this is Stratton and Stratus 100%. Tiffy will take most of the stuff. Stratus will come in, hot tag, clean house, win. Crowd goes home happy, and Trish Stratus gets a big moment in her hometown. Probably the last match she'll have in front of her hometown. So yeah, this is a no brainer. They just kind of throwing it on there for Trish, but I thought this was going to happen because that's why I picked her to come back at the Rumble. I was like, yeah, they're going to just shoehorn her right into the Elimination Chamber. So
No, I definitely see that. And you guys are having a way easier option or way easier way of saying Stratton and Stratus than I was, 100%.
You're doing
Um,
great, sweetie.
thanks, G. I appreciate you. But now, G, how we feeling about this one? Do we have the same answer? We gonna go with Jackson LaRae on this?
You know, I would have to invent something wild, I think, to have any other logical outcome than Stratton and Stratus. See, Matt's not that hard. Don't worry, I got you, bud. No, but
Thanks,
honestly,
dude.
like, and I, there you go. No, but I don't think this one needs any real deep analysis. I mean, you guys hit the nail right on the head. Tiffany Stratton is not losing any kind of major PLE matches close to WrestleMania. Um, Trish Stratus in Toronto one last time, potentially. I don't think she's taken an L there. There's really not too many reasons for either anybody on the other team to need a win or anything like that. Tiffany and Trish, that's yeah, not too much more needs to be said.
No, 100%. I think with this being the case, like you guys hit, Stratus might be her last chance in her hometown to do her thing. I don't see it her being her last match yet.
no.
I see maybe one or two more. But yeah, definitely being in Toronto, doing your thing one more time in front of friends, family, um, you know, something special. I definitely think this is a SNS. I'm gonna go short here. SNS victory. I think Stratton and Stratus are gonna do, what they gotta do. Jimmy hit it on the head though with Stratton doing her stuff and then Trish making the hot tag and coming in there doing the finish, doing some work. Maybe it doesn't have to be the full on win, but I do see Stratus taking a pin here, or not taking a pin, but pinning either Jax or LaRae, taking the win. SNS with that win. It's gonna be fun though. Stratton and Stratus is gonna be something that we probably all never thought we'd imagine, but it's here and it's gonna be a fun one. Speaking of women and speaking of fun ones, we have a women's chamber match here. This is where I was a little stumped because there's a couple different ways that we can go about it. But we got Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, or as Lillian Garcia calls her, Roseanne Perez, Bayley.
Close.
We got Alexa Bliss, Naomi, and Bianca Belair. This one's a head scratcher for sure, but I'm gonna go to G on this one, see how he can start it off for us, and see which route we get to Rhea Ripley here.
Yeah, this one I had some trouble with. So my thought process went one of two ways. The probably one of, if not the most dominating storyline in the women's division all year has been Rhea Liv. And I don't really feel like we're done there. And I think the tag title win on Monday, I don't want to say is a red herring, but I don't necessarily think that affects where they're going to go to WrestleMania. The women's tag titles, just like any tag title, can ping pong around. I mean, they just won them on a Monday Night Raw, so there's no reason to think that they'll have them come Mania, what have you. Um, So I don't necessarily think that discounts them because for a second that kind of threw me off. So on one hand, Liv makes a lot of sense. On the other hand, what's the biggest match they could do? In my opinion, that would be if Bianca were to win, and then you got like the two women superpowers in a WrestleMania match, which seems very apropos. Um, However, I still just think there's more going on there with the Bianca Jade stuff of it all. So I don't know if that's the avenue they're going to go this year. And that whole ambiguity of that situation makes me think the smarter, more logical way to get to WrestleMania is to have Liv win. And then we get Liv Rhea to just cap off the feud at the granddaddy of them all. So my pick is going to be Liv.
Ooh, I
Gotcha.
like it.
Very,
I like it.
very, very solid explanation there, and I'll definitely touch base on it when I'm up. But I want to see what Jimmy has to say on this one. I know during Rumble you kind of mentioned Bianca being your shoe-in for winning.
Yep.
Going for Rhea because we haven't gotten that match on the big stage or granite stage of them all. So I want to see if you're going with Bianca on this one or if you have a different thought.
Yep, Bianca, because it was Bianca or Charlotte winning the Rumble. I thought that was a shoe-in. Like it was either one of those two was winning it, and then Chamber, depending on who was going to be in it. If the other person that didn't win the Rumble was in it, that was just going to be my pick. It's more so just like I'm kind of hoping because we can't put it off any longer. The Bianca Rhea match needs to happen. It's just you can't have a bigger women's match. You need to do it now. The only one that kind of trips me up is Alexa out of all of them. I know that sounds crazy because it's so out of left field, but she came back after how long? She didn't need to come back. She came back, and I feel like she probably wanted something. And Alexa needs to remind people, like, hey, at one point she was kind of on top of that division for a hot minute. She has really good chemistry with the bigger girls too. Like because of her size, I feel like she's able to work with them and kind of showcase what she can do a lot better. Like her and Bianca had amazing chemistry. I don't think we've seen her and Rhea in the same ring yet, so that would be new. Alexa's very popular, so it wouldn't make anybody mad either. But because I've been pushing for the Bianca Rhea match for literally like 3 years at this point, I'm sticking with Bianca, and Bianca's winning the chamber to go on to Mania while Jade takes care of Naomi. She won't even play into the Bianca thing. She'll be like, I'll get you afterwards. But yeah, so Bianca.
Yeah.
I like the Liv pick, though. That's ballsy. I like it, though.
Thank you.
Very
I'm
solid
Liv
points,
stands,
though.
so I ain't going to be mad at it.
There you go.
So is Daddy Dom, All right, so we gotta live. We got Bianca. Kyle, are we gonna go with one of the choices, or are we gonna go somewhere different?
We'll go somewhere a little different here. So I was looking at this match. It was a head scratcher at first. So it was really a matter of elimination for me. I think Naomi, Bianca, and Jade is its own story. I could even foresee maybe like a triple threat match or something with those three at WrestleMania. I could see that happening. So I eliminated Naomi and Bianca. Alexa, I think we're gonna get some Wyatt six. I fucking just said Alexa, and now Alexa's talking to me. Um, I think we're gonna. She keeps talking.
What's Alexa doing at your house, bro?
Get out of here. She's small. She fits anywhere. I don't know if you could hear that, by the way. But Wyatt six. I think we're getting like Wyatt six. Judgment Day shenanigans maybe at WrestleMania. So I don't see Alexa. She has a wild card, and you could always throw her in the title picture, but I don't foresee it this year. Liv, like, yeah, you could always go back to Rhea and Liv, but should you? Like, I don't know. I feel like they've wrung that towel as dry as they can. So maybe it's just hopefulness that I don't think Liv is going to win. And that just brings it down to Roxanne and Bayley. I think it's a little too soon for Roxanne. I think her story of coming so close but not quite getting it, like she did at the Rumble, I think that's going to continue here. I think she's going to be the last one eliminated for the winner, Bayley. But with the little caveat here, I do think Io Sky finds her way into that title match. It's some way, somehow. So I think we get Io versus Bayley versus Rhea at WrestleMania.
I see your point there, and I
Okay.
kind of, I
Yeah.
kind of thought that too after the last few weeks, and after the qualifying match when Io lost, that Io possibly is going to find her way into the Chamber match. I don't know how it's going to happen, or not Chamber match, but Mania match. I don't know how it's going to happen. It's possible maybe next Monday Io wins the title off Rhea somehow, and Rhea asks for her rematch at Mania.
I think that's probably the
Um,
most straightforward, sensible option
it's
to get to my
possible.
maybe unsensible prediction.
No, yeah, no, and I definitely see where you're going with in that one because I have thought about it too. Um, my mind was all over the place on this one with a couple different theories. But I ended up on Belair. There was multiple reasons. I do agree with G's story about Liv and Rhea doing that final match. After one hell of a year, yet they had that rivalry, everything. The story's there. Even though they just won the tag titles, that doesn't mean that she can't challenge for the women's world championship. Um, but I think somehow, some way, Liv ends up getting one of the last two pins. She's going to make it to the final three, and then either finish last or second to last. But she's not going to take it, I don't think. The story between Roxanne and Bayley, we've seen it the last few weeks through NXT, through SmackDown, Raw. Her sitting in the crowd and Bayley going to NXT, and them kind of doing this back and forth thing. I see Bayley versus Perez at WrestleMania. So I really don't see either one of them winning the chamber. Just because I feel like Roxanne's going to end up losing to Bayley, taking the pin, and then Roxanne's going to cost Bayley with a pop rocks or something like that, getting Bayley out of the chamber as well. I thought about Alexa, but Alexa just got back and they already moved her to the SmackDown brand. I don't think with that being the case, she goes back to Raw just for one match, then to back to SmackDown. It feels too back and forth. And that leaves us with Naomi and Belair. And with the whole Jade thing, I think Jimmy had a point where you could say I'll come back for Belair later. I'm gonna go for Naomi. Um, and you could set something up for Belair later. Jade challenges Belair for the title after Belair maybe beats Rhea for the title. That's where we get Jade Cargill winning the women's championship. Anything's
Good
possible there,
SummerSlam
but
match.
so yeah,
That's
no,
yeah.
100%. And with that being said, I think the biggest marquee match, especially because at the Rumble or the Rumble prediction show, I mentioned that this is going to probably be the biggest year for WWE, especially moving to Netflix. I feel like this is where that's a make or break year. You want a marquee match, and I think Rhea versus Belair is going to be that matchup, and that's why I chose to go with Belair on this one. I thought it was a no brainer, and especially because there's other storylines where all these other women could go into. I think that's the perfect marquee match. Um, but yeah, so we got two Belairs, we got a Bayley, we got a Liv. Anybody listening want to comment on it? Your pick on this match, bring it. We want to hear what your thoughts are. Um, but we got another chamber match here, and it's John Cena's last chamber match. It's going to be a fun one. We got John Cena, the man we can't see. We got Logan Paul. We got CM Punk. We got Seth freaking Rollins, Damien Priest, and Drew McIntyre. I'm going to kick it off to G. G, how we feeling on this match? Who we picking? Let's go.
I had a really, really hard time with this one too, and it all came as soon as The Rock came back and cut that wonky ass "I Want Your Soul" promo that threw my head in a blender and kind of turned everything all topsy turvy. So, coming down to it, I still think it comes down to the same two guys for me. It's either going to be John Cena or CM Punk. I know Jimmy's gonna have us all convinced in about 5 minutes that Logan Paul is winning, and he's probably gonna have me just as convinced as he did at the Royal Rumble one, because I thought for sure was happening at that point.
Whew, boy.
Yeah, when he got thrown out,
Never
that was the
happier to be
biggest
wrong.
sigh of my life.
I got
Never
a little
happier to be
scared on
wrong.
that one, and I almost cursed out Jimmy.
Yeah,
When
you
it
would
came
have
to
got
the
all
final
the
three,
hate
I was like,
mail in the
oh no, what did I do?
right. So, but for me, it still comes down to CM Punk and John Cena. Now, I think there's two avenues they can go here. I think the obvious is going to be, I think one way or another, I do think Cody turns down The Rock because I don't think that's in who Cody is. Um, I would even argue in a way he's already your champion. I mean, the dude wears a three-piece suit to the ring or to the arena every night, signs autographs until the show is almost over, hits every town, hits every media. If he ain't your champion, I don't know who is. But where I think this is going is I think the person The Rock is going to end up siding with on all of this is going to be Mr. Farewell Tour himself, John Cena. And the little nugget that I saw somebody pointing this out on the X, the Twitters, whatever you want to call it, that kind of put my head down this direction was what John Cena said post Royal Rumble in the press conference about how, you know, he's always done what's the best thing for the business and this and that, and whether it's him being the opening match, in the middle of the match, this, that, whatever. But he came right out and said the best thing for business was John Cena main eventing WrestleMania and winning the Elimination Chamber. And it was best for business for him to be in the Elimination Chamber. That's kind of atypical and way uncharacteristic for John Cena, who's always had to earn everything. So I don't know if it's going to be quite like a heel turn or how they're going to spin this whole thing, but I think it's going to be John Cena because he's always been the my champion of the WWE in a way. He's the model for the quarterback, if you will. So I think that's where they're going. Um, and I still think that opens up whatever possibilities and opportunities you may want to do with Roman Reigns too. So, because that kind of came into my calculus too. I think somehow he gets a little involved in this story, even if it's just to set up something future, because after all this has gone on, all the records he set, he's not the Rock's champion. Maybe that comes into play too. So I'm going to lock in the man we can't see, Mr. Farewell Tour himself, John Cena, on his way to 17.
Solid choice, solid reasonings. I definitely can understand that point. Kyle, how are we feeling? Are we feeling the same way with Mr. Farewell Tour himself, or are we going a different avenue?
Man, I hate to piggyback, but I'm about to hop on. I agree with G there, man. I think Cena, The Rock, because Cena's, like he said, like very uncharacteristic in that post-match press conference. Very reminiscent of, in some ways, of Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin before WrestleMania 17. It's very desperate. He said in a very famous promo that he will do anything he has to do to beat The Rock, even if that means aligning with the devil himself, Vince McMahon. And I think we could see very, very parallel thing here with The Rock being Vince in this scenario, Cena being Stone Cold, and uh, Rock be or Cody being Rock. So I do think we get a little corporate Cena here, a little bit, throwing in a little monkey wrench in his farewell tour. I think the arc, I could see him like descending into madness a little bit, getting really desperate, and then at some point realizing that that's not the way, that's not the John Cena way, and then he comes back and redeems himself later in the year. But for here, I think we're still early in this yearly run. We are early in the year. So I think Cena. God, it is Cena in Punk. I'm looking at it. I still am so not sure. I'm just gonna go. Fuck, man. You know what? I think Cena's gonna lose here, though. I think that's gonna contribute to his desperation and his anger. And I think Punk wins this. I think Cena and Rock. I think there's a tie in there. I don't know necessarily what that is, but I think Punk wins this, and it contributes towards Cena's story.
Okay, okay. I see you're choosing a little bit different. Okay. Kyle really doesn't want to win that shirt.
Or I'm gonna go take a Stark lead. 4-0. Probably 0-4 though.
Sure, sure. Jimmy, how we feeling, brother?
So, Logan Paul, and I'll tell you why.
Get this guy out of here.
Oh,
I'm just
leaving.
joking.
God,
It's not Logan Paul.
Where's
It's not
the
Logan
kick
Paul.
bone?
It's not Logan Paul. It's not Damien Priest. Kick those two out. It's just not going to be those guys. So then I go to the others. Like G said, I think Rock showing up and doing what he did, whatever that was, as bad as it was, the intrigue that it created is just that you can't buy that kind of intrigue. It was perfect because it went from being like, I think this person's going to win to, well, now I think there's 4 possibilities. Seth Rollins, he's probably the least likely of the 4, but you could argue that he got his best success while he was part of the corporation, and he would easily sell his soul to get that spot against Cody because he wants it. Like, he came out recently and said that his dream match would be to face Cody at WrestleMania again. So, and he would want that type, like, for Cody to even contemplate it would drive Seth mad enough to fall back into that. I don't think that happens though, but the possibility is there. Then you have John Cena. I get what you guys are saying. I just refuse to believe that that man is turning heel. I can't do it. I could say John Cena winning it and then Cody saying no at first, but then John Cena kind of pushing him into it because Cody feels like, oh, I can't live up to John Cena. I can't compete with John Cena. So he goes to The Rock, and then it happens at Mania and then that's how Cena loses. That's very heartbreaking for Cena, and I love when a storyline ends with heartbreak. It's the best. So I could see it happening that way, but not Cena going heel. I just can't. I don't have it in me. CM Punk as a corporate guy intrigues me like a lot. Like, I really like the idea of it because he likes to play with the online community a lot. Like, a lot. And since he's gone back to WWE, he's been just called a sellout the entire time. So what better way than to lean into it than to actually sell out and get that WrestleMania main event that he's long dreamed of having. And heel Punk is so much better for business, in my opinion. So I said a few weeks ago, I think Punk and Cody is the far more intriguing match for Mania at this point. But I think Drew is a dark horse here because of the bloodline ties. Because he hates the bloodline. But the only person that he's never had a problem with in the bloodline is The Rock. We've seen Drew, he's willing to do whatever. He don't give a damn. And I think it creates such an interesting story coming out of Mania if Drew aligns with The Rock, with the High Chief of the bloodline, while having issues with Roman. And I think somehow all this can tie into each other. I think Drew's the last person to pin Cody. I know The Rock did. But Drew is the person before The Rock, the last person to pin him. I think Drew deserves everything after the last year he had. Like, nobody was more important to the WWE than Drew. So I'm going Drew McIntyre here to pull the surprise win and then align with The Rock going into Mania. That's what I think we're going to go with.
Because I like
solid and interesting choice for sure.
So
you got
I
me
do
on that
have
Logan
to add
Paul.
one quick thing though. So I was gonna add a little something if nobody said it, but you touched on it. With everything that's happened in the WWE and CM Punk, the lawsuit, him going to AEW, the coming back, him being called a sellout, real beef with people in the back. Corporate CM Punk would fucking rule.
Yeah,
that would be and talk about the shock and awe of him coming out in a 3-piece suit next to The Rock. Come on.
He looks amazing in a 3-piece suit. That's the one I'm going for. It's the one I want to happen. I just think the Drew win. I think Drew win. That's it. But man, I'll love it if Punk wins.
I have one more nugget to throw on the pile of nuggets we have going on here. Do we think the Paul Heyman favor is still canon, or did The Rock promo throw that all in a tizzy?
I think it's in canon.
It's still there.
Yeah. So if Punk were to win, in my opinion, the favor is part of him becoming the corporate guy.
I think he could use it, just spitballing an idea. where it's like The Rock's involved with all this, and he could call in the favor, and this is how you get Roman and Rock. You like, hey, get your boy to take care of The Rock so I can handle my business, and then you get Roman and Rock.
That's something.
Bingo.
That's just an easy way to get there. So
I like how that
very
tastes.
interesting take. Very
but I want
interesting
corporate
take.
Punk if Punk is winning. So
As long as it's not Logan Paul, we're good. I had a hard time with this one because obviously there's a couple people in this thing that if they don't win, where do they go into Mania? And they're all big names. So you got Seth Rollins, right? Where does he go if he does not win this chamber match? Who does he feud with? Because there's nobody really other than Cody that he's been interacting with these last few weeks. He's done some stuff with Sami, but we've seen the carrying cross in the back of Sami Zayn numerous times. People have been hyping Carrying online. I mean, it's possible we get Carrying and Sami at Mania. Thank you, Jimmy, because Carrying's fantastic. So I kind of sense that. So where does Seth go?
Roman.
But I mean, yeah, it's very possible. And I thought about that. And I thought about that kind of just tying where like Roman beats Seth and then Seth finally admits what he did. It's possible, right? Damian Priest, where does he go? Well, he eliminated Drew McIntyre from the Rumble. LA night, whatever we want to say happened there. But I kind of sense that, with the way Priest interacted with Drew, that we might see that at the WrestleMania one-on-one. Drew versus Priest. Two big guys. Why not? I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be interesting to see. Priest is still in the main event. Drew McIntyre needs somebody. I don't see them going for the title again at Mania because I don't see them being a marquee match at this point with somebody like Cody Rhodes. And that leaves us to three names. That leaves us with CM Punk, Logan Paul, and John Cena. With everything that happened on Monday and everything that's been happening the last couple weeks, I see Punk eliminating Logan Paul in the chamber.
Don't you
and
say
then
it.
Logan Paul
Don't you say it.
costing
Don't you
CM Punk
I'm gonna fight
to
you.
set up a feud for WrestleMania.
I'm gonna fight you.
Leaving one man on his farewell journey.
No, leaving were all your co-hosts after you said that.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
But I mean,
that's
am
more
I
heartbreaking
wrong?
than KO and Sammy, man.
Am I wrong? I mean,
Hopefully.
come on. Logan Paul slapped the shit out of Punk.
Bro, that was a
and
sissy
Punk
slap.
wants retribution. He wants
Stephanie
retribution.
McMahon slaps harder than that.
I know. And she doesn't run away either. That's the point.
You can't tell me that CM Punk's first Mania match back is going to be against Logan Paul. I'm going to lose it. I shouldn't go to Vegas if this is going to happen because I will lose it.
Paul draws heat, and Punk. Everybody loves Punk. I'm sorry to say, but we need a marquee match for Punk, and Paul draws. Man, it's crazy, and I hate saying it out loud, but he does.
It does. I mean, Logan Paul's got to be at WrestleMania, and he already had the match with Seth. It's either be Paul and Cena or Paul and Punk. So it really does come down to CM Punk and John Cena.
Logan Paul could go wrestle.
Was for a little
AJ
bit
Styles.
though that. Yes, I seen that last night. So it's
okay. Keep him away from Punk. Sure. Keep him away from Punk, please.
It's possible. But maybe Cena does win this, and maybe the favor for Punk is to get into that match. He helped Roman, Paul Heyman pull strings, gets him another opportunity, triple threat match somehow, some way at Mania. Punk versus Cena versus Cody for the championship. It's possible. I mean, it's been a while since Cena's really been in a full match. And to carry a match between him and Cody by themselves for more than 10 minutes, it might not happen. You need to have somebody in there that's going to actually help build the match longer than 10 minutes at Mania, and doing a triple threat might be that case. Obviously Cena is slowing down. Do I see him winning his championship one more time before he retires? Yeah, I do. Do I think it's at Mania? I do. Um, Punk gets his Mania moment. That's all he ever wanted. He never necessarily said he wanted to win the championship at Mania. He just wanted to main event at WrestleMania. And I think getting him in there, the favor from Heyman is to get him in that match if Logan Paul screws him. I think that's where we go. Um, it's all going to depend on how the Logan Paul plays out. But I'm still going to go Cena. Cena needs his way there. It's his last WrestleMania. How do you not main event it?
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
I
So
want to throw in
I
one
gotta
more
go
thing on the
Cena
Drew
on this.
McIntyre thing. Because you brought up the whole Royal Rumble spot where Drew was pissed off and throwing a fit backstage. WWE's been very good about throwing out these false stories to kind of throw people off their scent so that they could shock you later. And that also plays into like why I think a Drew McIntyre win here kind of makes a little bit of sense. Since you brought it up, I wanted to just throw that little tidbit in
I'm not
as
trying
well.
to take it away from you at all.
Oh, no, for sure.
Because it's possible.
Damn cat.
It's very possible, but I do see
Cat
Drew
just bit
versus
me for that
Damien.
one.
Because where do you see Damien going into Mania? Where do you see Drew going into Mania if it's not Cody Rhodes?
Damien can go lose to Dominic Mysterio like he was supposed to all those times ago.
There you
Agreed.
go.
There you go.
Can we just somehow take out Logan Paul in this match, put Dom Mysterio in, have him win, and go against Cody
It's not
Rhodes?
his time. It's not his time.
Next year.
I won't be greedy. Hey, Logan
He'll
Paul
take
versus Carmelo
title he
Hayes
wants
is right there. Just do that match. It'll be awesome.
Because it wouldn't.
It
I
would.
love Mello.
I think it put
He said,
so much shine on Mello.
Kyle said, "Oh."
I don't want Logan Paul near any of the big guys. I don't think it needs it.
Have him go against Tozawa. Tozawa just fought Gunther.
Hey, bro, Tozawa would wreck Logan Paul.
He would.
Talk about a span of events for Tozawa if he goes on to wrestle Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
I'm all in.
I
If
am
you do
too.
it, I mean, I'll buy a ticket right now.
Hey, give Tozawa a world title run. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I just have to add, Matthew, if CM Punk talked all that ish, the buy one get one on night 3 of a extravaganza, whatever he said when he was in AEW, and he comes back and he wrestles the celebrity his first match back, that is either a level of trolling that my brain can't comprehend, or just like a level of irony I don't know if I'm able to comprehend.
Hey,
like, I don't know which one.
He's there not there to make friends. He's there to make money.
Yep.
He'd be making a lot of money.
Oh man, I'm hating this right now.
I do have
man
to say,
Punk. CM.
Yes.
Oh.
I do have to say though, when he came out on Monday and Logan Paul's music hit and it was them two, it was one of those where I had that instantaneous like, what the hell? This is God damn it, this actually kind of works. So you know what? I hate it. I don't want it to be right, but I could see it, and I could see it actually being money.
Hey, you know what? Come WrestleMania prediction show, it's just gonna be me, Kyle, and G. Jimmy's out. He's done. He's out for the count.
Yeah.
He's gonna be out like
dig me
Sami
up out of the
Zayn in
grave,
that.
'cause I'll be dead.
He's gonna be out like
I'm
Sami Zayn in that unsanctioned match.
Oh man,
See? You're catching
It's
on.
not even that I don't like Logan Paul in the ring. I just think that Punk's first Mania match back against Logan Paul sounds stupid. It just sounds so stupid.
Yeah,
my
there's
God.
a level of
It's gonna happen.
not reading the room if that's what they do. That it's just like Jesus Christ. But that's also why it might actually be the most perfect option. Also, I think we're like 4 shows away from just all convincing ourselves about how Logan Paul is going to win everything.
Yes.
Matches he's not
Still
in.
got Money in the Bank and King of the Ring, so
yeah.
Hey, you know what? By the end of 2025, Logan Paul Grand Slam champion. Boom.
It's nice.
Done.
They already got one title.
Yes.
Working his way
Damon is still
downtown.
chasing it, by
him
the
and
way.
Dom can win the tag titles.
He's going to become
go.
a Grand Slam champion before John Cena.
Probably.
Crazy.
Honestly.
Crazy. Oh, man. But what we do here is winner of this gets a t-shirt. Any of you guys have an idea what shirt you guys want? What are we going with, Jimmy?
So last time I was complaining that Chelsea Green's merch sucked, and then they came out with the Statue of Liberty Chelsea Green shirt that is absolutely fire, as the kids be calling it. And I'm going with Chelsea Green because I need it in my life.
I need a Chelsea. I need some
I like
Chelsea.
that. I like
She's our
that.
United States champion, man. You got
Queen of
to.
the United
There's no
States of
choice.
America.
There's no choice. Gee, how about you? You know what shirt you're gonna go with?
Yeah, if I hadn't have gone with the Yeet Man himself for the Royal Rumble, what my second choice was gonna be at the time, he keeps coming out, he keeps looking more badass and badass week in and week out. I think I gotta go Penta shirt at this point. I still like the OG one with the mask, but I mean, I think it's gotta be Penta.
Oh yeah. I mean, Penta's a good choice. You stole my shirt, so I'm gonna have to pick something different. But hey, you know what? Good minds think alike, bro. Kyle, are we still going ECW or are we choosing something different this time?
I've been trying to get this goddamn ECW shirt for months and months. And what better way to win it than with KO and Sami extremely murdering each other at Elimination Chamber?
No
EC,
contest.
ECW, come on now. It all just writes itself.
No, absolutely. So now that G stole my Penta shirt, I'm gonna have to go with something different. And it was a shirt that just dropped. Maybe a famous tag team that is on NXT right now. They just dropped a new shirt on
Yes,
WWE Shop.
boy.
We're gonna go. Yes, boy. Close. The Hardy Boys just dropped a new shirt on
Oh,
WWE
God.
Shop. Gonna go old school. Gonna go with the Hardy shirt, man. Yeah.
That was
Now
my
run
first
down the
wrestling
ramp.
shirt ever. Hardy Boys back in the day.
I don't know what's worse,
Now
yeet
run
or
down the
that.
ramp trying to save your brother.
Oh no,
Yeah.
man.
Oh
I'm
man.
just
All
sitting here,
right.
man. I'm catching strays over here.
I'm praising your
Fantastic.
Yeet shirt over his Hardy Boy shirt.
Oh, you said which one is worse?
I know. I don't know which one's worse, but the fact that I'm even comparing, no, the Hardy's is worse. The Hardy's is worse. There you go. I'll make you feel a
I
How
little
say
bit
the
dare
better.
longer
you?
you explain it, the more it sounds like an insult.
Ah, they're
How
both
dare you?
insulting.
Is it
You
too
know
late to
what?
change
We
it to
still
Pretty Deadly? Oh,
no.
they
You
only
could
have
still.
Pretty Deadly has one shirt and they only have it available in 5XL.
That sounds like my Dom shirt.
It just
Start
says
gaining some weight, Kyle. Start
here's
gaining some
two
weight, brother.
it says here's
Nightgown.
two tasty snacks in the front.
Man, that's so good.
All right, so what we're gonna
Man.
do is we're gonna throw one of these prediction shows, make Matt buy the 5X, and we're all gonna wear it together in one show.
Awesome.
Hell
I
yeah,
love
brother.
it. Great idea. But what we do here, in case we have a tie, we go tiebreaker time. So I decided, based off of how long chamber matches usually go, we're looking at match time about an hour 48 minutes. So I'm gonna let you guys have the floor. I'm gonna go with G first. G, what are we thinking time wise with
Wait,
matches?
what'd you pick?
An hour 48.
Okay.
Of total in-ring action.
Total in ring action, bell to bell.
1 hour 54 is speaking to me.
1 hour 54. All right. So we're staying close. We're staying close. Kyle, what are we thinking time wise?
Look, I'm not trying to price is right rules anybody here, but according to my calculations before them, I had an hour and 57 minutes.
All right. So you're right there with G. Jimmy, are we going in the 2 hour mark or are we going to stay in the
I'm
1
right
hour
there
or are
with
we going
all
to be
y'all.
close?
I'm right there with all y'all. I'm doing 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 37 seconds.
With the seconds, I like it.
I'm gonna hit
All
that
right.
37
So
one day.
I like that.
he's going seconds. He wants that close enough to that extra minute just to be right. I feel you. I feel you. Well, guys, this is going to be an awesome card. We're one show away from WrestleMania. It's going to be a good one, man, and I'm so stoked. Just be prepared because Mania is going to be a long one. We got 2 nights, guys. 2 nights. Oh, man. But Elimination Chamber from Toronto. Great match. Sami Zayn and KO are going to kill it. The Chambers match is going to be fantastic. You can't go wrong with Stratton and Stratus. Try to say that again 5 times fast. You can't. Anyway,
Tiffany Stratton
but
and
guys, thank
Trish.
you again for coming on the show. It's always been a pleasure. You guys are fantastic. If you guys have any comments in the selection here, you guys want to comment on who you guys choose to win these matches, let us know. We want your feedback. We want to hear it. Kyle wants to hear it. He wants some feedback.
I
Jimmy
mean,
wants to know
Know who
one of
dressed
his
the
guys are
best?
going to die between KO and Sami. And then G just wants to know if Cena's going to be a corporate guy or not. It's going to be fantastic, guys. We're going to see what happens. But until next time, guys, thank you for joining us. Peace out.
Toodles.